Welcome back to Between Friends here on WMSK Online Radio, home of the Cheryl Underwood Morning Show every Monday night, 9 to 11. I'm one of your hosts, Peter Durham, in the lab, left alone, once again, with August, September, October, Heather. Listen, for y'all that don't know what's going on with, hey, what's up, please? What's going on with Jackie Blue, okay? She's been at stripper auditions every Monday night, and I asked her, why did you have to pick Monday night? Why Monday night? Why couldn't you do it Tuesday night? She's trying to get into Eldorado's. Apparently they hold their auditions on Monday. So we want to wish Jackie Blue the best of luck
Get it, girl.
with her new career.
Don't laugh.
So we here, we made it there. Me and September, we gonna hold it there.
Yep.
We got a couple things to talk about, but first, as usual, let's go ahead and get this out of the way. I know what she did this weekend.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
I seen the pictures.
No.
So I just want to see if she's going to be honest with us. Because I know what she did this weekend. I seen the pictures. So, September Heather, what did you do this weekend?
I did a lot of things. I had a good time all weekend. Few events.
Mm-hmm.
Hung out with some
Any particular event stand out in your mind?
folk and just had a
Any particular events stand out?
No.
Yeah, man.
not really.
Well, let's do this. All right, so we got some local celebrities here, a couple dudes I know, you know. So I'm scrolling through my timeline on Facebook, and I see this picture. I recognize the dude. I recognize the chick. September Heather. Huh?
Shit.
I seen you. I seen you all in that man's face.
Oh.
I saw you. And the look in your eyes looking like he was going to get something. All he had to do was say, this shit bullshit, let's get out of here. And the pickle play would have came, yes. I saw y'all and first of all, I got a problem with DJ Fuji. I got a problem with DJ Mook. I got a problem with you niggas because I didn't get the invite to the white party on the cruise. I didn't know y'all was selling tickets. Because y'all know I'm in there for that. So, I ain't even going to touch on that no more. Just know we beefing. We beefing because I come to all y'all shit. We beefing. Maybe I ain't made the A-list for this one. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting old. I'm losing my street cred or something. I don't know. Shit crazy. I see these pictures. I'm like, damn, everybody had this shit. Look at that Fuji on his timeline. Luke on his, you on your. I said, look at this shit. Everybody at this damn white party on the bed. I'm like, huh?
It was nice.
I bet it was nice.
It was good. It was extremely hot. Y'all know how hot it was on Saturday. You know, we didn't catch a whole bunch of breeze on the boat, but it was a very nice event. Had some proposals on the boat. It was very special. Very nice event.
Somebody proposed to somebody on that?
Yes.
At a party.
Mm-hmm. It was kind of
special. At a
It was
club
small,
on the water.
It was a small, kind of like invitation only kind of deal, special event. So that was a special day. Now we talked last week about dating and you like to talk about how I do it and what my rules and stuff are.
Yeah.
Well, with celebs, there may be some exceptions.
Yeah, he was getting that cookie that night.
Maybe.
He was getting that cookie.
Maybe
I saw the way you took the picture. You was like, ooh, he gonna get it.
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice.
Let me find out you run around. Let me find out you humping local celebrities. Let me find out. I'm glad y'all had fun though. So let's shoot one of these. Let's you know. I saw y'all, but you look kind of cool. You look cool in that picture.
Today.
And you had on white.
I didn't have on white. I had on orange.
Yeah.
It wasn't all white.
It was a white party.
It was not.
It was. I read the description. And I said you had on white to just show how it's always that one nigga that want to show up to shit. There's always that one that want to show up to an all white party. She didn't even have on like, you know, what do they call it? Cream. This nigga had on orange. Or at an all white party, she wore.
It was not all white.
It was I read the description. It was a white party. Everybody else in the background of your picture had on white.
He did.
You and Fuji, the only two niggas on the that didn't have on white. I think Fuji had on blue or some shit. Hey, look at this nigga. Yo, I was like, man, they showing up. Y'all the only people that go to an all white party and don't wear white. I was checking y'all pictures out though. Y'all look good. Y'all look nice. Looks like y'all had a good time. It's like y'all sweating though a little bit too. They had no cool refreshments.
They had all of that. I mean, we were trying to beat the heat. I mean, it tore everybody. I think Saturday was worse than Sunday, but today we definitely got a break.
Tomorrow's supposed to be better.
God, you felt that breeze because it was like a tornado watch and all that kind of stuff.
We got that motherfucker. I ain't gonna lie, I would not be mad right now if the tornado hit Baltimore. Just because there's a lot of crazy shit going on. And maybe that'll slow some shit down just a little bit.
Yeah, despite the heat, there's still a lot of crime going on all weekend. So
right.
Y'all out there, even though y'all having fun, be watchful, be vigilant.
So let's talk about this. And I'm sure everybody's seen it all over the internet. So apparently, the deputy commissioner.
Why you laughing?
Cause this man left. Where they from? Louisiana or something?
Yes.
They from Louisiana, New Orleans. This man left New Orleans to come up here with his friend and help his friend get situated as far as, you know, the police commission. And while this man is out on a lovely evening with his wife, he got robbed. I'm going to say it again. He got robbed. Did y'all see the picture of the guy?
I did.
You saw the picture of the deputy commissioner?
Vigilant. I'm sorry if I said that wrong earlier. Be vigilant.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he was very vigilant.
He wasn't. I think.
Well, how do we know?
He forgot where he was for a split second.
Where in Patterson Park was it? Was he actually at the park? I never got that from any of the stories. Was he at the park or was he in the vicinity? Was he in the area?
It don't even matter. Anywhere down zone 15, zone 12. You are suspected. Listen, white guy, white lady in a truck. And you're not driving fast enough to get away. You stop, whatever the situation was, whether they stop at a red light or they can just get in the car, you gotta check both shoulders. Like, I just picture this guy, because they didn't really give like a whole lot of description on what happened.
They didn't.
But I just picture him just sitting there like starstruck when this truck pulled up. Out and said, "Give me your money." I think he really forgot where he was at. Oh man, you was in East Baltimore. You was in the trenches. You should have been like checking both shoulders, your doors should have been locked once you got in the car, all of that type stuff. Motor should have been running, automatic start, engaged, all of that. Join the club, bro. Join the club of Baltimore victims for Black Rob. Join all this of people. Happens every day. I've been robbed before. Shit happens.
Yeah, and it seems as though there's no information. I mean, it's not that much of a description. They did take the wild person, some cash, cell phones. They were about 18 or older, or at least 18, jump out of the car, approach someone who was just unaware, and takes whatever they can get and quickly gets away. That happens a lot. And why he didn't have a gun on him, I think I heard some stories that he was waiting to get the permit to carry. Well, you're the deputy commissioner. How long is that wait? Well, what's that process like? I thought that he would at least have a private security detail pending getting my weapon to carry on me when I'm with my wife.
I'm not too familiar about the state to state as far as license to carry. Wasn't he in law enforcement in Louisiana?
Well, they say I don't know if he was or if he was a civilian and he was just like the administrator type and he was handling things. I never heard of his name before now. I knew that Commissioner Harrison was bringing people with him from New Orleans to Baltimore to kind of build a team. Now, when I first heard the story, I thought, could this have been targeted? Could it have been planned? Was this the welcoming committee?
How do you target somebody you don't know? I've never heard of this dude.
Did they not know him?
I've never heard of him.
Did they just set it up like that to scare him? Get out of town. We don't want you here. I mean, you got a lot of people who don't want this commissioner and don't believe in this whole crime plan that he released last week and don't want things to change and don't want things to shake up. I don't put anything past anybody. That's just me. But I'm glad to see that he is alive, so is his wife. They seem to be okay as far as not having any physical harm
I bet you he got a gun now.
done to them. I'm sure they probably do have a weapon, or he has a security detail with him, so that when he is out and about, that he has some level of protection.
He probably got a gun and two German Shepherds.
Walking around.
And a truck well man.
Yeah.
Two of them K9s.
And it just goes to show you that, anybody can fall victim.
Is Baltimore really getting that bad?
Anyone can fall victim.
Robbing police thing?
Well, they done it. They beat up the Congress, Ricky Spector. They beat her up terribly. Gave her two big black and purple eyes. And these were kids, but when she realized what the kids were dealing with at the time and what their challenges were at home, and she said that they were remorseful, then she began to help them and she forgave them for beating her up. I mean, she looked hard.
Is it to get people in an uproar? I don't think anybody's going to get in an uproar about police getting robbed. That's just my outlook. I mean, if niggas ain't worried about their brothers and sisters getting killed, they really not gonna care about a police that got robbed and getting an uproar about it. Remember the stop snitching videos took its toll on Baltimore. Like ever since them videos came out, ain't nobody saying nothing. Ain't nobody seen nothing.
So my question is, I know that there had to be cameras in the area. Like, that's why I was saying, well, which part of the park? There are some business establishments around the park. If it's a shop on the corner, was he walking there? were there, but you know, they had, what are those spotters, those, crime spotters or whatever they are, these cameras or these
That's just what gunshot go off.
hidden, oh, that's just for gunshots
Yeah.
that go off, you know, or anything that could have picked up any type of image or something just to have absolutely nothing and you waiting on people to show up with some information. It sounds like that, you know, that may not happen, unfortunately. That may not happen.
I don't got a whole lot being released about this situation because remember last year when the police got killed in the alley, they ain't want to tell us a whole lot about that either.
No.
So usually when it's one of their own, they don't say too much. But let a nigga steal a candy bar from 7-Eleven. He got all on Channel 13, the video, everything. But I don't think we want to hear but so much about this whole situation.
Now, I didn't hear a whole bunch about the crime plan, and I know it was released, so that's what everybody was waiting on and how he was going to address the crime. There's been a lot of robberies and carjackings and things that have taken place. One in particular was a group of young men, and they had a carjacking ring that they, over a span of a few months back in 2017, and then between the ages of like 18 and 20, and they had like 26 carjackings linked to them. And they were just going around with guns and pointing them at people, taking their cars. One victim, they took one car, and then they had his address and everything. They went to his house and took another car. And they handed down some serious sentences. 50 years with all but 20 suspended, and 40 years with all but 17 suspended, and all of these big, big numbers that's big time for somebody as young as they are. Now, after they did it, they bragged about it. They went straight to social media, showing off, showing their faces. They took like pictures with the cars, all this kind of stuff, and just bragged about it, and just made, just a bad situation for so many people, like 26 that we know that you're linked to. So they put it on them. You got 26 armed carjackers and the death charges and all of those underlying offenses. Yeah, that's gonna add up. So while this was going on, the other story that was going on around the same time was a Caucasian teenage boy in Harford County who was convicted for murdering his mother with a hammer. He got
a hammer.
Yes. Convicted in January for the 2017 murder of his mother in their Bel Air home.
In Bel Air.
Could spend at least 15 years in prison.
15 years.
Andrew Zaragoza, now 18, was 16 when he was arrested and charged.
15 years.
Okay.
15 years for wait. 15 years for beating his mother to death with a hammer. 15 years.
So what they did find out that
that's it. 15 years.
Yes.
Which we all know will not be 15 years.
And I believe
because good time and all that type of stuff. Parole, all that type of stuff. Won't be 15 years. But here you just heard about a carjacking story where these dudes got 50 years.
And that was the
40 years.
And that was the argument until we learned the reason was, and it had been documented and corroborated stories of him being sexually and physically abused by his biological mother and biological father because they were drug addicts. And I can probably guess that they were also pimping him out. And they didn't put that out there just to save him some embarrassment. Crime of passion versus I'm going to go out here and just come up with a plan. The same plan I could have came up to earn money the legit way and bother people who ain't bothering me and disrupt their lives and then brag about it like it's a game. So he goes through, in a hospital, setting and all of that kind of stuff, and they go through all of these doctors and everything. Now, I'm not trying to justify anybody killing anybody. I really am not. But I think we can't compare these two situations. We can't compare these two things. And I believe it was an African American woman judge that gave him this sentence.
So because he has a mental illness, he gets less time.
Is it a mental illness?
That's what they're trying to make it. He was physically abused.
Physically and sexually abused.
So that gave him
all his
mental
life.
illness.
All his
that
life.
Made him go cuckoo and kill his mother.
Okay, now, I would say a fair comparison is him.
Hold on. Didn't we just talk about this a couple weeks ago? Where the dude killed the little boy at the gas station, and they tried to say, "Oh, he was crazy. He had a rough life.
He had just been released from prison.
He had a history of violence, though, but he did not have any diagnosed mental illness. So, if this young man that killed his mother with a hammer hadn't been diagnosed with any mental illness.
Now, I don't know about that part, about him not being diagnosed. What I would compare this to is the story of Centoya Brown. That's a fair comparison. She ran away from home. She was got hooked up with pimps. They pimped her out. She killed her John. She served 10 years. She's getting out in August. What's the difference between her and her sexual trauma and abuse and his? That to me is a fair comparison. How are we looking at him in carjackers?
How is he? How old is this kid?
He did this when he was 16. Is it a difference because he's a boy and Centoya is a girl and she was being pimped out and this John didn't do anything to her besides buy her and not know what her real age was, which is enough and bad enough, but she kills him. And that's how she got her sentence, which was much more severe than what she's getting now. So her sentence is she's getting a pardon, or her sentence is being commuted, I believe, and then she'll get out next month. And a lot of people stood behind her and said, "Oh, look, she had a traumatic life. She had a sad life. She was being pimped out, and grown men were just taking advantage of her sexually." This was his mother and father.
That's the point I'm trying to make. Do you know how much hate a person has to have to beat somebody to death with a hammer? Not just one person, two people.
Well, and you know what? It didn't say what happened with the father.
Psychopath.
So they're talking about with the mother. Oh yeah, it's a crime of passion.
Right.
It's a crime of passion. When you
does that make it any less horrific?
It's definitely horrific.
Because they abused him?
It's definitely horrific.
And they sexually abused him?
Yes, just like she was sexually abused.
Any less?
No. She went and got a gun, came back and shot him. He in the heat of it, just said, forget it, I'm tired. I'm tired of being treated like this. I'm done. The people who were supposed to protect me, brought me into this world, did this to me.
So did he, hey, I want to read more about that because I need to know how he beat both of them to death or just one. But still, where was the other one at doing while he was beating the one?
It just said beat his mother with a hammer and stabbing her to death in their townhouse.
Beat her and stabbed her. Mm.
She was dead on the second floor, but he barricaded himself in another room. And they came in and they got him and they took him, they found him guilty.
Took him to Burger King.
They found him guilty of second-degree murder and 2 counts of wearing and carrying a dangerous weapon with intent to injure. He was sentenced to 30 years with 15 suspended for the murder charge and 3 years each on the 2 weapons charges. Concurrent sentences, they run it at the same time. You get credit for 1 year that he served in county jail, must serve 5 years supervised probation, and get into treatment. And the judge feels that's the most appropriate sentence. They died a very violent death at their home, at the hands of their son. The mother, they not mentioning the father.
15.
But she also acknowledged the physical and sexual abuse suffered at the hands of his mother as well as his father, who died of a drug overdose in 2016. So that's what happened to the father. Yeah, because of his parents' drug addiction, he was a victim of that whole cycle and abuse. And I'm just led to believe that they probably also tempt him out. I don't believe that that's not fair with them. Because if you need drugs and you run out, then you're going to think of ways that you can. They already gained control of him.
Wow.
Already gained control of him. Father's dead. Mother continued to do this to him. And this is
15 years.
Well, we know people. I've seen people come through the system do less than 15 for murders. I've seen them twice in my career. You were here for murder again, huh? Oh yeah, I remember you. Are we just looking for lighter sentences when it's our kids?
Nah, I'm just trying to put the.
Do we not understand the psychological?
The crime with the time. I'm just like that. If you beat somebody to death with a hammer and then stab them up, and then shit, you didn't even run. You just sat in the room.
And snap. People snap.
You just sat in the room, played PlayStation.
People snap.
Fortnite. And then
And unless somebody probably been through a physical or sexual abuse or that level of mistreatment at the hands of their parents, they may not be able to fully understand where his mind was. Where was his mind? Where you mad at? Was he struggling with his sexuality?
was he on drugs?
Chances are he probably was. Being exposed to that type of, environment, having access to it.
Is it me or is it like more and more cases of kids killing their parents? It's like, I don't know, that shit. We didn't even talk back too much. Let alone think about going and finding a hammer and
When understanding the cycle of abuse, just like I said, the same thing with Centoya, the cycle of abuse there, same around same age, same exposure to sexual abuse, psychological abuse, emotional trauma. And that last straw, she said, this is my John. After she did the deed and exchange, take his gun, go out there, go in his truck, take the gun, come back, shoot himself out. She is intense. She's actually going to be less happy. He is. He did the same thing. People compared this with the carjackers. I don't think that's a fair comparison.
Nah.
I don't think so.
Them niggas is just dumb.
I probably wouldn't even want to read
That's just stupidity.
what the doctors had to, or the social workers, the clinical director, I wouldn't even want to read this. That stuff, I read stuff like that. It's hard to read. And when they break that stuff down, that just makes you sit and think, dang, like somebody is really going through this. He could have been the kid that went to his high school and just said, I'm a shooter at school, I'm mad at the world, I hate my home life, I hate myself. Or he could have just killed himself. Like some people were saying, why didn't you just take yourself out? It's rough and it's hard, you know, and especially for a male.
You can't compare this to no carjack.
Yeah, they was like, well, how y'all
these
do
little niggas
that?
was just reckless and out here stealing people shit while they was in it.
Yeah.
And then taking pictures. You niggas.
I mean, showing off.
You new niggas. These new niggas.
Throwing their hands up with the
Hey,
car.
How you take a picture with a car you just carved and then put it on social media?
And we take that lightly, but that could have been our moms.
But here's the thing though.
That could have been our moms. That could have, you don't know what it took. And I know it's property over our life. And that's not compared to.
So in all this,
another
how many
car.
carjackings was
They got him for 26.
it? 26.
They got him for 26. It was probably 30 something.
Is any of these 26 carjackings, was anybody hurt?
Some of the victims, you know, roughed up, scared, still trying to.
Yo, was anybody hurt? Did anybody go to the hospital? Did anybody
I
get
didn't
shot? Did anybody get stabbed?
I didn't see
Anything like that?
anybody
I don't remember
was
seeing
shot.
it. Not to make it seem like carjacking ain't bad.
It's horrible.
It's a terrible feeling. Getting something stolen from you is terrible. And being robbed, any of that, it's a terrible feeling.
Mhm.
You helpless, you feel helpless, you don't know what this nigga is thinking. You don't know what they're gonna do. But the creators of Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snap,
So they had this whole plan, like, say for instance,
I think that's why they created this shit.
you're coming out of a shopping center, coming out of here. They come in, oh, fender bender, oh, sorry. Oh, let's exchange information. And then that's when
They carjacked.
they take you over. Yeah. And they did this over and over again. And I know someone very close to me who was carjacked. And when I say it changes your life, it changed this person's life. How places they go, things they do. I could see the anxiety in them, the nervousness all the time. You know, even, you know, wanting to move and go somewhere with a secure parking garage and just having to make all of those adjustments for that little bit of peace of mind and go to court and prosecutors say one thing, you thinking, hey, I'm the victim, but what about my say about when do I get to tell my story? You gonna plead this down to carjacking? That's a big difference from armed carjacking. You know, and then you're left with like, you know, what is this? And then people end up arming themselves. Now, the deputy commissioner, I don't know what he was thinking coming up here. Like, did you
With
not?
no pistol.
No.
You the only nigga in the city with no pistol.
They wear a uniform. You know,
Right.
that's a cop.
Right.
With
You
no
got a badge
weapon.
and no gun. Listen,
That don't even make sense.
First of all, you ain't gonna set me up like that. You gonna give me a badge and no pistol? Hell no. No. When y'all put that pistol with the badge, then maybe. then maybe I'll be deputy or some shit. But now you go, now y'all Baltimore, y'all terrible.
And
Y'all officials is terrible. Y'all gave this man probably had a FOP tag or shit and a badge, no pistol.
and just any time of the day, like the shooting at the methadone clinic, that was early in the morning. I'm on my way to work, and I hear officer shot, and he just going to methadone. Give me all methadone. No, shoot. You get all shot up, and then he's okay. Thankfully, he's okay. But there was some.
So that was a robbery.
There was an attempted robbery.
So somebody was trying to steal methadone.
Yes.
Had to be a heroin addict.
Mm-hmm.
So did you know that most of the methadone clinics in Baltimore are owned by churches?
I know this one was pretty known and had been around for some.
Google it.
Some time.
Google it.
So that officer was a 25-year veteran of the department, and he was taking a shock trauma, and I think he was just released the other day. He's pretty good. This was at Man Alive. This was the treatment center.
What's it called?
Man Alive. He was waiting for his daily methadone.
You ever seen the line outside of the methadone thing?
A what?
The line.
No.
Oh. You know they open up like at the crack of dawn.
Yeah, very
like
early.
5 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
The line is, I think, the line at the methadone clinic is longer than the dope line.
The Tesla line.
The Tesla line. For real. I think it's just horrible. And then like they go in, they get the methadone, and then like they instantly zombies. Outside, leaning over, not following them, but leaning over. You see him all the time. Like I seen him this morning. When I came, I was at work. I was downtown, but I had to go up Eastern Avenue to the Home Depot. So right there, Eastern Avenue and Dundalk Avenue is a methadone clinic somewhere over in that area, or they coming from the hospital. I don't know. But that bus stop right there at Dundalk and Eastern Avenue, it was about 25, 30 like. All like stuck. And I'm like, this don't make no sense. How is this weaning people off of heroin? It has the same exact effect as heroin. How is that weaning anybody off of anything? And I watched, and it was sad to say because it was mainly women. I think it was maybe.
Oh, they do have that.
3 guys out there.
They have a lot of specialized drug treatment programs that they do for women.
It was mainly women that was, and it looked bad. Just bad. I know I joke a lot and I play a lot, but my heart goes out to some of these people who have these addictions. I know everybody says, oh, it's a choice, you had a choice. Do drugs and alcohol. Oh, I have a choice, but damn, shit happens. Like, they say weed is gateway. I know people that started smoking weed when I was smoking weed. I had an incident where I almost died from smoking weed. That's some bad shit. Remember how smoky was? And the pigeon.
And Debo pigeon.
Right.
That was shit.
Seriously though, like,
My name is Pig.
I got some bad grass one time. And that's enough. That's a story for another day. But I just feel like, I don't think it's enough being done. The approach. You can't supplement a drug with another drug that has the same effect as the drug you're trying to wean people off of.
Whether it's
It just don't make sense.
drug addiction or mental health or both, that's the crisis. I mean, that is it right there. And poverty. And you mix all of it, and then you have, now it's poverty. all of these, just people just robbing people, jumping out, and then you got these drug problems. I mean, you just see people and now it's a big issue because it's from all walks of life. It was the person who was supposed to succeed, and you were the head of your class, and came from a good home, and all of that kind of stuff. And that person started to get hooked, and now they are overdosing and dying. Now it's an epidemic, it's a crisis, we gotta do something about it. Hurry up.
How was your audition, Jackie? We see you commenting. How was your audition?
We are at the end. And just a week before that incident, Baltimore City State's attorney, Marilyn Moulton, went to Congress to talk about the crisis that we are having. And just the need for additional resources, the need for additional staff and specialized treatment and all of that kind of stuff. Just right after she went there to discuss and to talk about it. So a lot of people like, look, y'all worried about bike lanes and plastic bags. Y'all better worry about Pookie.
All right. So we're gonna take a commercial break, pay some bills. We'll be right back after these recording bullshit messages.
I was 35 when my life and addiction started to spiral out of control. My ex-husband threatened to take our children away from me. I felt hopeless. He called the labor care placement because I couldn't make the call. I was given skills to manage my sadness and my anger. And more importantly, I am 3.5 years sober. I'm so grateful for all their help. And all it took was making one phone call.
We need video.
Rehab can help you start to break your addiction problem and get sober in as little as 7 days. And we'll work with your insurance provider to help cover the costs. Plus, we have travel assistance programs to get you here by plane or train. Make this free call right now to learn more. 800-918-1376. 800-918-1376. 800-918-1376. That's 800-918-1376. Seniors want peace of mind and a free prescription discount card? Keep listening. Are you age 85 or younger? Here's an important message to you and all seniors from Final Expense Direct Insurance Services. The average funeral now costs over $7,000, and the most government benefits will pay your family is only $255. Our senior plans start as low as $1 per day and will pay up to $30,000 for funeral and other final expenses. There's no medical exam, and you'll have lifetime coverage. Plus, your rates will never increase, and your plan cannot be canceled as long as you make your premium payments. Get your free information about our senior plans. Just answer a few simple questions and get approved right over the phone. Plus, call right now and you'll receive a free prescription discount card. Call 800-675-0194, 800-675-0194, 800-675-0194. That's 800-675-0194.
Looking for high-speed internet where you live, but are out of reach of cable and fiber options? Look no further. High-speed internet is now available in your area, as your local authorized HughesNet retailer, Whole Home Connect, makes it easy to get the high-speed internet you need with blazing fast speeds, unlimited data with no hard data limits, with built-in Wi-Fi for as little as $2 a day. Act now and for a limited time, get free standard installation and free equipment with HughesNet from Whole Home Connect. You'll enjoy internet service that lets you do more of everything you want to do online, like shopping, surfing, and staying in touch. Call Whole Home Connect and see for yourself why HughesNet is America's #1 choice for satellite internet.
800-832-1508. 800-832-1508. 800-832-1508. That's 800-832-1508.
This is Jackie Blue, one of your co-hosts here at Between Friends, and we are live every Monday from 9 to 11 p.m. right here on WMSKOnlineRadio.com, where talk radio just got better.
Welcome back to Between Friends on WMSK Online Radio. I'm Mother Cheryl Underwood morning show. In case you missed it earlier, Jackie Blue is not here again. Word on the street is she walking Pulaski. I've heard different stories. I heard she was walking Pulaski. I heard she was selling t-shirts out the back of her trunk on North Avenue. I heard she was selling waters on Northern Parkway. I don't know what she doing, but she ain't here. So I'm stuck in here with October. August. Shit. September, hell. When did you come up with that shit anyway? Your birthday not in September. I thought your birthday was in December. Well, hold on. Let's hold on. We gotta pay some more bills. Focus Movers, affordable moving rates, fast and reliable service, free moving quotes, commercial and residential, local and non-distance, last second, and emergency moves. Locally owned and operated in 24-hour call center. Call today 443-506-7905 or book online focusmovers.com. Focus Movers. They'll come move your shit. Call them. That's what they do. They move your shit. Kind of like an X-Lax. They move your shit. Alright. I saw a story on Facebook. It's been on the news, I guess, about the dude who scaled the wall.
Oh, yes, I was about to.
Like 15 stories, like, to get his mama out that building.
He won. He won whatever award y'all giving out.
My man,
Yes.
you are the MVP.
Yes.
Because my fat ass, I love you, and you know I love you, my girl. But I'm looking to find somebody to do their job. I love you. I love you, and I hope you make it out. I do. But I can't scale 15 stories. And if you're on the second floor, I might be able to jump up there and grab the balcony.
He was Spider-Man up that joint.
But 15 stories up the side of the wall? Come on, man.
He did that. They said.
Now that's love.
Look, they said that he was a roofer, construction worker, and an adventurous child.
Right.
When he heard from his sister that his mother was in there and she was bedridden, he said that adrenaline just got in him, and he said, I gotta get in there.
15 stories.
I gotta go.
15.
But get this, earlier that day, he fell and cracked his hip on a set of stairs. His crutches sat next to him on the couch as he was being interviewed by the news. Despite his injuries, he scaled the fenced-in balconies of the building with wire cutters and cane. He said when he was a kid, they used to jump roofs, so he was kind of.
That was a project. You know, they only one with the fenced-in balconies.
Yeah.
Hey, West Philadelphia, wasn't it?
And
Over the grade.
she heard him, and she was telling him, I'm okay. He got in there, and the rest, they were rescued, but he wasn't playing.
My man scaled.
When you say he was born in
He
there.
climbed a 15-story fence.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no way in hell. Ain't no way in hell. Listen. I'm not no slouch physically, but the heights is what would have got me. Because you know how they say don't look down? I look down.
You would have got dizzy?
And every time I look down, that's when shit go bad.
Yeah, it was. West Philadelphia apartment.
Yeah, it was
smoke filled.
in the Jets.
smoke
He
filled.
was in the Jets.
He was like, I'm getting my mama.
I love mama.
That's what I'm talking about. That's some love.
You know, Bobby.
There.
Mama said this is fire as the devil. Them teen stories, could you imagine?
No.
Like,
And the picture they showed, I mean,
Right.
I was just like, I was scared for him. I was nervous for him. And then his poor sister's probably like, my mama's in a smoke-filled building, can't get out. They trying to get to her. My brother's scaling the wall. Her nerves is probably just shot. She probably didn't know what to do.
she probably had to change her detail.
Thinking like I may lose both of them because of this situation. I mean, it's crazy, but that's a good story. That's a good thing. There's be some crazy stuff going on out here, but it's good to hear things like that's going on. Somebody, I guess, taking matters into their own hand.
I'm thinking about that
For a
interview
good cause.
this show. That lady. What is that?
Well,
Why do they always find?
people talked about her interview, and when I saw it, I said, "Well, I didn't think it was that bad."
Just like people talking about when people was trying to say Nipsey Hussle mother was crazy for what she said at the war.
Not crazy,
And that don't you dare.
not
Don't
crazy,
you dare.
not crazy. But you could tell that there was
What?
she was still in the grief process.
You think she was grieving?
Yes.
Do you think that woman is grieving? Why? What makes you think that she's grieving?
Yeah.
What makes you think that she's grieving? She said it. I don't know. She's okay with it.
Okay.
She,
It didn't sound like it. It didn't look like it.
her. See, that's the difference. See, that's the thing. When people study different things, they sound and seem strange, though. They do because they believe what they believe. It's like,
And I hope she is.
People
I hope
who-
she is. At
you ever
peace.
sat and talked to somebody who was just like a straight Bible warrior? Like,
Mhm.
they seem strange. They seem strange to you because their amount of belief and faith in something
Mhm.
that you don't understand makes them seem strange to you.
I don't think her belief
It's-
made me think that she
it's-
was
I
still
think
in the
it's-
grieving process. It's not what she believed. I was just commenting on how she was presenting herself, and maybe it was just too soon, and maybe she was saying however she feels, you know. And I'm not one to judge that. I'm not in her shoes, and don't choose to be. And it was a sad situation, but I think people should have just left it alone and not try to, critique her saying or doing anything. I saw a lot of negative responses just that were unnecessary. They were just really, really unnecessary. But the lady at Man Alive, people say, well, they find the worst person. Well, they're at a methadone clinic, y'all.
The pickings
And
is
I'm
slim.
not, and
The pickings is slim. Who is they going to interview but a dope fiend?
the employees can't talk.
Right.
And
They had nobody to interview but a dope fiend.
right,
That's all they could get.
right.
So if you send me, if I work for Channel 13 and you send me down to the methadone clinic to get an interview, breaking news, nigga, what you expect? It's nobody outside but a bunch of dope fiends.
Right.
I mean,
And I didn't
I don't know
understand
what kind of
people-
interview you expected.
But when she was interviewed, and I know like someone very close to me had just started working there, and I didn't realize it till later. I was like, oh, thank God he's okay. But they probably can't speak because the job is not going to allow them to speak. You know what I mean?
Right.
So they can't speak. The police, they're not really releasing any, they ain't talking. You wait till the press conference, the cop been shot, because the cop's been shot. So who's gonna talk? She could give a first-hand account. Now she was looking jazzy, I will say that.
Oh, they be dressed sharp when they go down there.
She was
They don't be
jazzy,
raggedy.
but she gave a good account. She actually, when you listen to this lady say what took place, you can almost get a visual. Oh, okay, so you were in this place, and that her account is going to be crucial in this whole situation. A cop was shot. She was there to say, look, she was like, I got low. They started shooting in us. We was ducking, and I mean, she did, and people were upset. Well, why are y'all upset? What did she say that was wrong? She didn't say nothing wrong. She
I
actually
think
spoke.
dope friends are the best stories.
She actually spoke kind of what, she had her shades on, and she talked about what the nurse did, where they went to hide, and they went in another room and went under the desk and all of that kind of stuff. I mean, I don't know if I could give an account like that being a situation, but that's a scary thing. You talking about an active shooter, and we short on police. We can't have no weapons up in this weather.
No, you can't.
That's a.
No weapons while you're serving
Woo.
your youngest. They fix.
I mean, I don't. This. I'm telling you,
You wouldn't think that something like that would happen in America.
the drugs.
You just wouldn't think
It's a lot of criminal activity around.
around it, but inside.
And then you got mental health, and then you got lead in people's head, and
Oh, the ladies.
then
Them niggas is dangerous.
you got so much. And I think that's a lot that's going on with these kids. That's like between 14, or young people between like 14 and 30. It's some serious, like, unaddressed. No, it's probably that. Unaddressed issues that's going on. That's just, you farted.
No, that guy was Hey, ain't gonna say I farted on the air. That's terrible. This is why we got canceled twice last week.
That's unbelievable. Like, what is it gonna take? What is it gonna take to really get to the bottom of, this poverty, this drug infestation, the crime? Saturday when I went out and I was on my way to the boat, I saw.
You just want to keep bringing that shit up.
And
You just want to keep bringing up your little boat thing.
at the intersection.
I don't care that you went on the white party and wore orange. I don't care that you went to the little. Listen. We still beat DJ Moo, Fuji. We beat because I didn't get an invite nor a ticket.
Oh.
And then you had September Hammer at an all-white party wearing orange.
It was all right.
Orange. All in my man's skull face. All in his face. All in his face.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm upset about it. I'm hating because I was not invited. I didn't know about the tickets. None of that. You don't post shit on your site no more, on your page when it's sold out. Look at that. Wait, I was just thinking about that because, like, the first time I seen something about it, he had posted on his page sold out. And then why didn't you post it?
But I'm gonna tell y'all about it in case we do this again.
Right. Why are you posting this shit? It was already sold out. I don't want to hear about it.
So at the intersection, we had the expectation of seeing the squeegee kids or the kids selling water.
Right.
This time I see little girls. When I say little girls, I'm saying little girls elementary school. Like
selling candy bars.
Selling bottles of water, 8, 9, 10. I know they were.
Downtown?
Mm-hmm. I was about to turn on Lombard.
By the time they be at that intersection right there
across from the museum.
Yep.
Right there.
Yep.
Now, it's usually the boys, they doing the one squeegee. But these were, I saw a little girl. She came around the bush. I said, what is she doing out here? It's 105 degrees. an adult in sight, and then the older girl, which, I guess she was in charge or holding the money or, kind of taking the lead with it, she couldn't have been no more than 11. And I'm just thinking, what in the world, like, had I stopped, I would have gave them money and I would have been like, why y'all out here? Y'all need to go home.
Running in between cars.
Running in between cars,
Boys.
having people be ignorant to them. Everybody's not welcome in that. You run up on a car and they do all of that. Oh, I thought you was gonna do this. You got all of that going on. Why would you sell? I mean, they had their cooler and everything in the waters. Why would you? Why? Who's doing this? What parents are doing this? Or grandparents or aunts or uncles? Who's witnessed this? How do you come up with the idea and do this and think that this is a good idea or that this is safe enough for my child or my nieces to do? I mean, there are other things that they could do to get little pocket change, to get the little ice cream and lip gloss and all the little things that the little girls like to get, but
Can't have a lemonade stand no more. Now you gotta have a permit for that. That costs money.
they should have been at one of these rec centers that are still open. Well, maybe the rec center was closed at that time, but all of them are open. The pools are open. Y'all should have been indoors.
Friday night late swim.
Indoors, where it was safe, cool. And then we wonder why the city has to tell us when to have our kids home. They got to help us parent. It's still a curfew in effect. Still a curfew in effect. Somebody else got to tell you when your 10-year-old got to be in the house by 9, or your was the 16-year-old got to be in the house by 11 or 12, or it's different on the weekend.
So is the curfew still in effect, or is that
Yes.
just during school?
No, the curfew is still in effect. One of my friends told me she always gives her child like an hour before the curfew, like, look, you need to be home an hour before in case you get, for some reason you don't get home in time, you're not close to that time and you got to deal with no cops saying why are you out and all of that kind of stuff. But it's different for the ages, But to me, I don't know why somebody, 11 years old gonna be out after 9 o'clock without their parent anyway. I wouldn't.
We was outside. I can say we was outside.
Close to home,
But we was
in the
in the
neighborhood.
neighborhood.
Yes.
It's different though. Neighborhood is different.
Somebody was nosy enough to be outside,
It's
smoking a cigarette, watching y'all.
It's different now. The neighborhood is different now. And I say it's different because we was outside after dark when the street lights came in. Yeah, we was close to the house, but we was out front of the house. But we had neighbors who could tell you who started the fight, why you was fighting, because
And most of them were probably clean and sober.
and go
Went
get
to
your
work
mother
every day. They
or
had
whatever,
some sense.
something like that.
Right.
We had neighbors that paid attention to what was going on. And our parents, the parents of the neighborhood, they talk.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, your son beat your son up again. I'm talking to him. Different. It was like, different times. Because we, even back then, if somebody's mother told you, get away from my front with all that noise, guess what you did?
Yes,
You walked your ass away from that woman's window or her front, you got out of her face. You ain't say nothing, hell, none of that even occurred.
You didn't leave and come back and
Right.
shoot her up. And
Right.
that happened a couple of years
You might have said something. Y'all might have said something amongst each other,
Right.
but y'all was down the road when y'all said it. You know, y'all was down the road, and depending on who mother it was, you might not have said nothing.
True.
Depending on who mother it was,
True.
you might not have said nothing because that person might beat you up the next day. I heard you talking about my mom.
Beat you up.
I heard you talking about my mom. But I ain't never heard no curfew until I was 40 years old. I said, these kids got what?
They want the kids
A curfew?
off the street.
In the mall, got mall curfew.
Yes.
You got on the street curfew. You niggas ain't gonna be able to do shit.
No. And it's not safe for them to even be out because of so much that's going on. And really, so much that's going on any time of day. I mean, you got kids getting bribed on their way to school.
On their way to school.
At the bus stop. I mean, they are encountering, so much at any given time. And it's like, what's going on? And I'm just tired of people blaming Freddie Gray. I'm just tired of people blaming the Freddie Gray riot and the Freddie Gray situation, all of that on everything that's going on. People still saying,
who blaming shit on the Freddie Gray?
oh, you hear a lot of people saying that it's why the officers are standing down now. They still sour about that. They still mad about that. Well, are y'all mad about Detective Suter? Who angry about that?
Nobody.
Who upset about that?
Nobody.
It's just so crazy. It's a lot of things going on. We need a lot of help. Guns all over the place.
I remember sitting and listening to my mother and my uncle talk about they good old days. How they used to entertain themselves, whether it was inside or outside. They couldn't go outside. The games they used to play in the house, and then the days when they couldn't go outside, they would just play baseball, football, whatever. And they looked out. And what's crazy is now. All right, so now you got younger parents who, when they had these kids young, say you had a child at 15, your child at 15 years old, or say you have a second child that's 5, you got a 10-year-old, 15-year-old child. These children are being made to babysit and watch children as children themselves. Because you still got a young parent who's late 20s, early 30s, who still want to go out and hang out in the street. But the thing is, what happens is, like me and my sister, it didn't matter who she was hanging with, I was going with her. It didn't matter how old they was. And now because you had these young kids being forced to watch their younger siblings, when they do go, they don't even want their young sibling around. Like my sister never treated me like that. I know I was a bang my ass as a young child. For real. I mean, it is what it is. But anytime she went somewhere, I wasn't too far behind her. I wasn't too far behind her. And my friends, it was even better because her friends was older and then they had younger brothers and sisters my age for me to hang with. But we was all together. It didn't matter. We built a clubhouse out of cardboard and plywood, and we had furniture and snacks and everything. We would steal snacks.
I think what's missing when I speak with young adults who were young parents, I think what's missing is their respect for older, wiser people. And a lot of them don't have no one impart any type of wisdom and advice to them. And then at the same time, they're not respecting it.
Sit down and shut up is not advice. That is if you tell your child sit down and shut up more than twice in a day, you're using it too much.
Or I see
you overuse it.
Young women, and I'm looking at them like, what's going on with this sister? Like, what's going on? You yelling at the little boy, he like 3, 4, 5.
Right, that's what they supposed to do.
Come the F on.
Yeah, dragging him.
He walking 5 paces behind you, you on the phone, come the F on.
Yeah.
Just all of that type of stuff. And where do they get from that this is okay, that this is, you don't like to be treated like this. And then you want that child to grow up and listen to you or respect the teachers or the police or anybody else? This is your products. These are our kids. These are our silly acting kids.
Mm-hmm.
That's doing this, and we continue to make excuses. But when I see, younger people doing this, I mean, you gotta check them. Like, what are you doing now? What goes on in somebody's home and what's allowed in that home? You might not be able to change that. That's just the way they're living. That's how they do. They do all of that chaos, confusion. They hear a whole bunch of silly talk and, whatever. And you just hope and pray for the best. And maybe they'll mature as they get older and they get out on their own. Some kids just don't have a choice. They didn't choose the situations that they are in. But the parents, they got to get a hold of this.
And stop having babies.
Yes.
If you got this,
You in poverty.
I challenge everybody on my Facebook. If somebody on your timeline complaining about their baby fall
All the time.
all the time, complaining about men in general all the time,
All the time. Their kids.
talking about their kids all the time,
All the time.
tell them
Birth control.
stop having babies.
Yep.
Then you won't have nothing to complain about but yourself. Because you complain about that dude, but you keep laying with him, shut up.
They labor it.
If you complain about how much money your kids use up of yours, but you keep making them, shut up. Stop complaining about situations that you put yourself in. Ain't no law saying you gotta reproduce. Ain't no law saying you gotta have kids.
Now, and I'm not saying that.
No, I'm saying that.
I'm not saying
It probably should be
that you should
a
have.
law that you shouldn't have. If you got one child and you got a Section 8 voucher, you shouldn't have no more kids till you get off the Section 8. That should be a law.
Well, they tried that after the third child, you can't get no more cash assistance like your check.
No, after the first one, let's be
your
strict
check
about
doesn't
it.
increase, but they'll give you food.
Let's be strict about it.
They'll give
You had
snacks.
one child, we help you out with the first one. We understand people make mistakes.
Or just
Second and third one, you're on your own.
mistakes. Maybe just the timing.
No.
Timing was
If you 15, 16, 17, you get pregnant, it was a mistake. You understand. Okay, you got courage, you got a little couple, you got pregnant. Okay, we understand here. We're gonna help you, we're gonna let you live here for $67 a month. We're gonna give you $500 a month in food stamp, $250 in cash assistance. But that's it. Now, you get a daycare voucher. You can go get a job. You can go go to school,
Yeah.
get a job, and that's it. Ain't nobody helping your ass with the second, third, fourth, fifth baby that you want to have. Hell no. And then you got 3 or 4 different baby daddies. No. This is where the system is broken.
3 or 4 different baby mothers, because
Right.
on the other hand, our children are in bad situations, in poverty or
I don't think we should
low
have.
income
I don't.
because they're not together.
Guess what?
You got this girl over here, this girl over here. You have a baby about him, you have a baby about him.
Now you can't say that about the dudes. You can't put us in that same category because we get out here beat in by child support.
If
Yeah.
you can be found,
For the niggas that don't hide
but yes,
because we want to have a regular job, you tell me. Talk to some of these people out here and see why they got second jobs and third jobs
and under the table.
and do odd jobs
Then that's
because child support
yes,
will put you in poverty
yes.
for real.
So there was a story recently of a young lady who relinquished her father's child support debt by $30,000, and she told him that at dinner. He just broke down and he cried. What y'all think about that?
I think it needs to happen more.
What y'all think about
Especially if, okay.
I don't know where she got it from.
No, I'm going to tell you this.
Or how it
I'm going
went
to tell
out.
you this.
Or
I'm going to tell you this. I think that it needs to happen more. Because if everybody don't mature or mature as fast as they need to, and a lot of times these young fathers get put on child support and just like I did. Look, child support, come get me, yeah. Catch me if you can, nigga. I did all that. Did all that. Till the court papers started coming. Until I seen my man get 6 years for child support. I said, listen, I called him. I'm sorry.
Right.
How much? Yeah. At some point in your life, you mature and you say, okay, shit, let me stop playing with these people. But I do think that mothers, after your kids is 18, and you know this man got this, he's been doing it for 10 years, 15 years. He finally got it in there. And you know he got arrears. Go ahead down there and surrender that shit.
I know people
These
who are
kids is
doing it.
18, 20 years old.
I know people
grown.
who are not doing
Let that shit go. Get over it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're dependent on it. Even if you're not, just get over it, man. Come on, man. I know too many people struggling right now. Fellas, I know personally struggling because of arrears. But give us a few. We're gonna take a few minutes and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about our favorite
We're gonna finish talking about
hip-hop
child
star.
support.
Piper! He's back! He's back, baby!
Barbershop located 7171 Security Boulevard, Baltimore, Maryland 21244. Men, women, and kids, we do it all with a professional master barber to serve you. Open 7 days a week for your convenience. Please contact 410-944-CUTS.
Hey,
That's
Pat.
410-944-5889. Please tell them WMSKOnlineradio.com sent you.
Don't make a move without contacting Focus Movers. They offer affordable moving rates, fast and reliable service, fully equipped state-of-the-art trucks, locally owned and operated, a 24-hour call center. You give them a call. Do it today. 443-506-7905. Don't make a move without Focus Movers. 443-506-7905. Free moving quotes, commercial and residential, full service moves, local and long distance. Last second and emergency moves can be done too. They are fully licensed and insured. Call them at 443-506-7905 or book online at www.focusmovers.com. Don't make a move without calling Focus Movers.
So child support. You said you were celebrating this shit was over.
State versus Us magazine. Make sure you get your copy of the location in you. All new things.
It's not approved anymore, but it's not over.
Bookstores in our first country is Canada. Get into the mind of the hard and confident who has been wronged by the system. This magazine will give you high-profile things, corruption information on what's happening in the G-Ball, police department, and the others. Also, success stories of former inmates such as myself. You don't want to miss it. Celebrities, sports, entertainment, real estate, and financial literacy. Make sure you visit us on our website at statebsusmag.com. Our social media at statebsus and on Facebook at statebsus magazine. We are the voice of the voiceless. State versus Us magazine.
Hey, it's September Heather, one of your co-hosts of Between Friends. Listen to us live on WMSK Online Radio, Mondays 9 p.m. to 11.
Talking about your friends. I still don't know if that was planned like that or Weezy just going hard. You don't know about that. Black eyed people.
You got another commercial?
Huh?
You got another commercial?
Yeah. I don't even read one. Welcome back to Between Friends on WMSK Online Radio, home of the Cheryl Underwood Morning Show. State vs. Us Magazine, your official source to the streets from prison, highlighting high-profile cases, corruption in the police department, government, the prison system, wrongful convictions, and success stories of formerly incarcerated. If you or someone you know have a story to tell, want a feature or ad space, please email State vs. Us Magazine at gmail.com. Get your print or digital copy today at State vs. Us Mag.com. For y'all that don't know, WMSK Online Radio is looking for jazz, gospel, entertainment, fashion, Latin, Caribbean, community, and other type shows. If you or someone you know want to sit in the chair that I'm sitting in right now, please send an email to WMSKOnlineRadio@gmail.com. We want to hear from you. Leader in Talk Radio, WMSK Online Radio. So, it seems like you're ready. I could have told you you was ready to go to prison. Oh. We all knew it was coming. We knew it was coming.
I haven't even looked at the latest.
We knew it was coming when the city of Chicago failed to get a conviction twice. We knew the feds was coming. You listen, you can sell all the crack you want. If the state failed to convict you, you know the feds is coming. The feds is coming. Nigga, you had a special. They had a special about you. For a lifetime.
And Gail King.
You knew the feds was coming. Then you got out, you did a, nigga, they locked you up, they let you out, you did an interview. You should have knew that the feds was coming. You listen. Somebody forward this video to all Kelly's people. I need to talk to you for a minute. Brother Kelly. Brother Kelly, I'm going to give you some advice. Do what you want with it. It's free. Since you lived your life the way you want to live it, the Pied Piper of R&B, I heard they was calling you daddy and all types of stuff. The time now, my friend, is for prayer, recollection, and get a knife, nigga. Get a knife. Get a shank. Make me a shank.
How much time is this?
This nigga got like 27 pounds of child pornography.
Was this is from a recent?
This is from, I think it's a collective. And you know, see, they can't try you twice for the same thing. So So now they put him, they never tried him for child pornography. They never tried him because of that tape. They never tried him for child pornography even behind that tape.
Well, who's gonna identify her as
Listen,
underage?
the feds got facial recognition.
Right.
All the things that on the state level they might not have had the money to use. Or even try to use. The feds is going to use everything that they have. They're going to bring some stuff from NASA. They're going to move about 5, 6 satellites around to get this conviction. I'm telling you. When the feds come get you, you already guilty.
Right. So where is he now?
He's in Chicago still, but they get ready to fly him to New York to face these federal charges of child pornography. Mr. Kelly. It's been decades in the making. Bro, you had a good run. You had a long run. 30, how old am I? Yeah, you had about a 30-year run. Dating back to Aaliyah. Rest in peace. You had like a 30-year run, bro, of kidnapping little girls, having sex with them, videotaping it, going to the high school, picking up high school age girls. You had a 30-year run, promising young women a career in music to get them to your house. You had a 30-year run.
They'll be supporting them, like they support them.
Them brothers, they will hurt Kelly in prison. He will never see General Pop ever. He will spend the rest of his life on solitary confinement. The rest of his life. Because even in the federal prison, you don't even know which one they're going to send you to. You never know. So, Mr. Kelly, man, you could have been one of the all-time greats. You could have got your Lifetime Achievement Award and all that on the Soul Train Awards. You could have got. Man, now you're going to pull all your music. Ain't nobody going to pay to hear your music no more. I feel for you, but I don't feel for you. Because you did it to yourself. You did it to yourself. Because you couldn't say no to young girls. Not even, I can see if you was just one of those dudes that just slept with everybody and just, women your age, just slept with everybody and just, all right, you're pimping. Nah, bro. Not even your situation. Then he cried on the interview. I didn't know baby. I looked at that interview, I said, what is he crying for?
Because he really thinks he's right and it's okay.
How do you think you're right sleeping with a 12-year-old girl?
He really thinks he's right and he's okay. And, they'll probably, and he got no problems.
Ain't no problem. No.
Because we can't figure out
what you stop using this
you
mental
just
health
said,
shit
no.
as a crutch.
You just said, why did he cry why did he act like that with that Gayle King interview? What was that? When she confronted him, he's like, no, it's not. That's not, no. No. It's because he's trying to, in his mind, he thinks that all of that is okay. How do you think all of that is okay? Like, you're not even scared of the law. That's the thing. He's not even afraid of what he is losing.
I think that he thought that he was going to get away with it, like Elvis Presley.
He saw that Bill, he saw all that stuff with Bill Cosby. That should have been, I need to stop.
But Bill Cosby wasn't messing with
borderline.
underage kids, though.
No, they weren't
Bill
underage
Cosby
kids.
was just slipping something in your pudding pop.
Right. But even still, how they came after
What's
him
happening?
and his health condition and his age.
Right, they
Oh,
sent
no,
Bill
you didn't-
Cosby to jail at 80.
Right. So what they think they're gonna do with you, R. Kelly? Come on.
They
You're
said
still
they
defending
sent
yourself.
the king of pudding pops and have a coke and smile. And they sent him to jail at 80 for something that happened 30 years ago.
Questionable stuff.
Longer than 30 years ago. Questionable stuff.
Well, the last lady, that was maybe 10 years ago. But what were you doing in this bedroom? You're a grown woman. You're not a indecisive, confused,
Let me explain something to you.
teenage, young adult woman
Even-
who don't know.
Even the charges that stem from 50 years ago, or whatever, the first one that started my whole 50 years ago, Bill Cosby grabbed my teddy. Let me explain something to you. You're young, you're in Hollywood, everybody knows who has the best parties. Everybody knows who gets the best drugs. Everybody knows this. Everybody think people was playing with Rick James. They knew if they was going to Rick James' house or a bar, a club, or something where Rick James was at, they was going to get high off the best drugs. They was going to have sex, all that 70s stuff. 60s and 70s. Okay, Bill Cosby was no exception to the rule. He was an entertainer. He was a young, black, funny dude that, Cosby made pennies for that. It did. A lot of women are attracted to guys that are humorous, that have a great sense of humor, and that are funny. And I think that was the drug.
The fun part.
Right. Because, listen, if I'm going to, let's just say, all right, I'm going to Pew House, like y'all be saying, I be messing with Pew.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going over Pew crib, and I know Pew gets down with the get downs, and I'm going over there knowing I'm going to get the downs with the gets downs. You understand? So I'm not going to call Ray 30 years later and say, Pew grabbed my pickle when I came over there one Saturday night about 2 a.m. And just like 2 a.m. you go hang out with a young star. Come on, man. Come on, man. I just don't buy this shit. I never bought it. Bill, I'm gonna send you 20 over to jail. You can get my baby. I'm gonna send you a money order, Bill. It slips my mind. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna send you a money order. I just never bought into your whole Bill Cosby. All these old ugly ass women was coming out. Bill Cosby touched me. And what was you doing in his hotel room, in his house? And it's not like any of this happened at their homes. You went to him. You went to see him. No means no and all that. Yeah, but
Intentions. I mean, all of that is just
30 years
so
later,
questionable.
Tony, there should be a law. There should be a statute of limitations on that shit because there's too many people just coming out saying, "Oh, this person touched me when we was in middle school."
50 years ago.
Right. 50 years ago. Like, it bothers me that the courts even entertain this shit.
You ain't entertaining for certain people.
I don't care who you are.
They're continue.
50 years ago, if somebody touched you, like, you can't even, I don't remember certain shit that I did last week. For real. I can't remember certain things I did last week. And to give a detailed account on somebody playing with my pickle 50 years ago, 50 years ago, come on now. Let's come on now. How many people had touched the pickle since 50 years ago? Was it that traumatic when you stopped having sexual relations?
They testified, they cried, and
Right. Oh, and old Bill sitting up in jail now because this wench, somebody wanted a check. And he said, I ain't giving you no money. So it came out and said, oh, Bill touched me. Bill touched me. Bill grabbed my titty. A lot of people say that. Look. They said that about Bill. Y'all put Bill in jail. They said it about Trump. Y'all put Trump ass in the White House.
And then the other story everybody was talking
I
about
don't get it.
was Jeffrey Epstein.
Jeffrey Epstein.
So Jeffrey Epstein is
Yeah,
this big, right? He's this big, financing.
Oh, that was the guy that was the sex trafficking dude, right?
Dozen underage girls
Yeah.
at his residences in New York City, Palm Beach, Florida. He was sexually abused. One girl, she said she was 14 years old when it happened. So everybody was coming out with their stories, and they were giving him bond, and he was sitting at home. Now, they gave him a plea deal. The Deputy Attorney General.
What?
Yeah, he got a plea deal. He was facing up to 45 years in prison if he was convicted on the charges.
What was the plea deal
for? The plea deal was,
what was it? Hold on. Who was this again? Say it again. Who he was?
Jeffrey Epstein.
Jeffrey Epstein. And how will people know who he is? What has he done? Like, who is
Just some rich white guy in New York, who had trafficked a lot of these underage girls between him and some of his rich buddy friends. So he got this big old mansion in the Upper East Side worth like $56 million that he was allowed to go to on house arrest.
Oh, so he got to stay in the mansion on house arrest.
Yeah, he got. So they said that this was a years-long scheme to sexually abuse underage girls, and he had fake passports, all this money, and then here comes the feds. Now you talking about the feds with R. Kelly? Well, these feds decided not to prosecute him at all.
Money.
Mark Phillips.
Money.
He stepped down earlier this month.
Money.
As the Deputy Attorney General.
Because he ain't got to work no more.
And Alice Fisher.
He ain't got to work no more.
Who at the time led.
He got a check.
Who at the time led the Justice.
In an offshore account.
The Justice Department's criminal division.
Man.
They both left the government to go into private practice. They said, according to Mr. Epstein's lawyers, the deal was also cleared by two other senior officials in the Justice Department.
How much time what was the deal?
He's 66, and he was facing 45 years in prison if convicted.
So what was the plea deal?
Not to prosecute.
So they just all of a sudden said, we not going to prosecute.
Nope.
So he got a no props.
Right. But years ago, he had another one. We don't know what that, I think that was like a 13-month sentence in a local jail. So that they had already cut him a deal in the past. So this is his history and his pattern that he already established. So this
I wonder how much money they got for that.
Well, he's worth a lot of money.
I know that, but I wonder how much they got.
So he had
For
wired.
them to just quit their jobs and go
Well,
private.
he was quiet in a lot of witnesses. They say that allegedly he wired $350,000 to two people who were going to be witnesses at his
gonna take the money and still tell them, yeah. I'm gonna take your money, yeah. Hey, look, 7,500,000. I ain't gonna tell them about that night when we had, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say nothing. And then, let me get the 500. I'm like, hey, look, man, listen, I had to pay my credit off for that.
Yeah, it's worth about 500 million. Yeah. And he's a free man, and they made this plea deal. The feds made a plea deal, and they sent step down, and here he is.
So they made a whole deal, just not to prosecute.
Not the
Not okay, we're gonna give you 10 years all suspended. Just we just not gonna prosecute. We're not gonna seek a conviction on it.
Nope.
Wow. If R. Kelly's lawyers don't bring this shit up in court.
Nope. Nope.
If R. Kelly's
It's a
lawyers
man, I mean, I'm
don't
telling
bring
you,
this up
it's
in
wild.
court, I'm telling you.
It's
I
wild.
mean, listen. So,
Not even gonna prosecute them. And these girls were testifying. And
so the feds now can be bought. Is that what you telling me? I understand the state level. Yeah, everybody know that. State level. Everybody know that. But the feds,
Everybody got a price.
and they got so much money. They was bought up with so much that they was able to quit their jobs.
And these are people in high level positions in government, and most of those people also have other streams of income, so they got lost.
These people was able, somebody gave you enough money that you said, you know what, shit. Remember, hey, man, you ready to sail around the world?
They say that they went into private practice after they sent the deal. So unless there's a brand new case that comes up with a brand new victim, that's it. All of that goes out the window. And it just goes back to, now this is something to say, okay, why this, but then y'all do Bill Cosby like that. Now that's a comparison. Like earlier in the show, we
wants
talked about
a computer in his cell so he can finish his album.
Yeah. The system is something else, boy.
Mr. Kelly. No computer. You can't have that on protected custody. You can only have a TV and a PlayStation and stuff like that when you're in general population. You don't get that stuff in PC.
They're gonna say because he's a high profile.
You don't get that.
They're gonna
You gotta go hang with the amigos to be a pewter. I'm just saying. And they ain't gonna get your ass no computer. You've been selling jobs. You've been doing jobs for a while. You ain't gonna ever be able to sit in front of a computer ever again the rest of your life. That you gonna be bad. You gonna be cyber bad. You talking about this nigga want a computer. You better not drop that soap. Talking about a computer. You know what I wanted when I was in jail? To get out. Nigga, I wasn't thinking about how to make my stay more comfortable and shit. Nigga, I wasn't thinking about, if I only had a big TV and my slippers from home.
He may.
How can I get the hell out of here?
He may be in there for quite some time now. That child porn to get that run. You'll get some time over that.
No.
Who him?
He will because he's black.
Yeah. The child porn.
The nigga from Subway. What's his name?
Jared. How much time did Jared get?
Is Jared in jail?
How much time did Jared
Is he
get?
in jail?
We'll have to find out.
Who is? Cause I didn't never hear that about. I know he lost the Subway contract. I don't know how much time Jared got. He was selling pimples and playing with people's kids, selling low calorie subs are right there. And he's selling something else too. We thank you for posting a link.
And was sentenced to serve 15 years, 8 months in federal prison with a minimum of 13 before becoming eligible for release. So he's still locked up.
He got 15 years. So Jared got 15.
He got to do 13.
He got to do 13 on 15
That was in 2015.
for child pornography. And how many counts was he charged with? Does it say? Kelly got 27 or something like that. 27 counts. So I just want to keep it fresh in my mind so we can make a comparison when R. Kelly get his 85 years. When R. Kelly get his 85 years, Jared only got 15. He was selling Subway and Pickle. The Pickle out of Subway.
Yeah. I forgot about Jared.
Yeah, Jared was playing with them people kids. Jared was playing with them people kids. And making commercials on how to lose weight. We know what you were doing to lose weight. Now we know. I seen a interview on, I don't know how real it was, whatever, I don't know. But I seen an interview on Facebook of a priest who said he didn't know that it was illegal to have sex with kids.
Yeah, that's a whole nother.
I didn't know it was illegal to shoot people. I'm sorry, I killed 27 people.
And it probably went with that whole angle through the, judicial system and everything.
I didn't know that murder was illegal. I thought it was something that,
And they have been
it was just frowned upon. I didn't know it was illegal.
They have been putting limitations on how far back their victims can say that abuse took place with them.
What, the Catholic Church victims? You know how many victims it is?
Because the payout, they were just paying out too much money, so they said, look, we're going to cut this off. Y'all not going to be coming at us talking about.
They put a statute of limitations on that.
Yes, they did.
But they didn't put a statute of limitations on Bill.
He should convert to Catholicism.
All Bill wanted to do was share his pudding pop with the world. God, free Bill. Free Bill. Serious. That's terrible.
Yeah.
Bill Cosby, 80 years old, eating shit on the shingle. Come on now. Eating shit on a shingle and 2 boiled eggs. Come on, free Bill. He learned his lesson. He ain't gonna pop the molly no more.
Yeah, and
But it's just the fact that it's so old. Whether he did it or not, I don't know. I don't really
that
know.
last woman that kind of looked like a guy,
But
that's what took him over there.
80, it's a man 80 years old. His pickle probably got a pump to it. Man, it probably don't even work like it's supposed to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man, free Bill. Free Bill. All the people on Instagram that be on Murder Inc. talking about free Lil Ray. He just shot up Burger King on Lil Ray. No, free Bill. That Lil Ray ass shit over buckets. Lil Ray died. I don't know, y'all. The times we living in. Man, Epstein, he just bought the feds.
Bought the feds off. Well, that's what your money can do for you.
Feds off.
That's what your money can do for you. Mr. Kelly may not be so lucky.
Let me make a phone call. Hey, Big E. I got $25 million for you. Look at you out there. This never see the light of day. You understand me? I'm bringing him some check. That's how it goes. That's why we go to jail because we ain't got $25 million to grease somebody and say, hey, listen,
Or he hired some investigators and said, look, we gonna put together a story against you.
Right.
We know this secret about you, but
All
because
of that
he had
probably
money,
came into play.
but because he had money, he's
All of
able
that.
to just use his money. Look, 25 million. This is it. You can go ahead, live your life. You and your family.
Right.
That's it.
All of that came into play.
No more getting dressed for work every day, getting up at 5 a.m., working all day, and feet hurting, and
Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me.
right. But can you live with yourself after something like that?
I'm gonna try.
Can you really live with yourself knowing that I took this money, a bribe, and I know it was supposed to
I'm gonna battle with my demons on that
uphold
yacht.
the law?
I'm gonna battle. I'm gonna battle with my demons while I'm on that yacht, sipping that yak.
With all your servants. You lay back like this, like you a sheep, and they feeding you grapes.
2 people, but one on the ground each foot. He told me my feet will never hurt again. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's people that easily persuaded. By monetary compensation, people are easily persuaded. I mean, it's just.
And you just get to step. He just gets to step down. I mean, he probably would have been fired behind something like that. But what do you say to the victims?
So he gets to step down and get his benefits and all the retirement and all
Do
that.
we need him?
But he's probably still gonna take them.
Probably.
If you got 30 years in on the job, you know, a federal job at that, you know, they get benefits.
$25 million.
He still want his
He's
shit.
not gonna get that
They got the best health benefits on the planet. Why pay for it when the shit is free?
because that's big.
Oh, he's gonna
You
retire.
have your own private doctor.
He retired and he got his federal health
Remember
benefit
on
and his retirement little
he ain't worried
check.
about no package.
He ain't gonna go to his
He ain't worried about no package. That ain't gonna disappear.
And he collected his 401k, all of that.
Remember on Annie, Daddy Warbucks. He had the black guy that was trying to do the medicine, and he was following around, and he be something bothered him, or he had his own doctor. He had he was like, what was he, like a magician? What was his Punjab? What was his job? I don't know. You have all of these services. You have everything that you could possibly want. Everything right there. You're not worried about no 401k. 401k.
Nigga, I'm greedy. I want all my shit. If I got, after 30 years, I probably got a couple $100,000 in my 401k.
You got that anyway.
I want that. Let me get that up.
So now you got $25,200,000.
Right. That's right. And I get my little $2,300 check every month.
And then you got your health benefits card.
And I go get all my Percocets and Mollies and everything else I need as I get older. For free. Thank you. You know what I mean? Somebody's got to do
People do it if you can live with yourself. You stand.
Somebody's got to do it. This is what I'm telling you.
You can stand dealing with it. You can stand doing it. As for me, I don't know. People got to have a little bit more. Moral turpitude.
Is there anything could somebody buy you something? What would it take?
Everybody
What would it take to buy September Heather? If September Heather was juror number 6 in a capital murder case, and you was approached by someone from the plaintiff side of the case, and they offered you monetary compensation, how much would it take to buy juror number 6?
for me to say not guilty.
Because you only take one not guilty. Only take one. How much would it take? What amount would be worth the risk? There's a number in your head right now. There's a number floating around.
say no the first time, just go higher. Just so you can go higher. I'm gonna say no the first time.
He said,
I'm gonna say no the
he
first
said,
time.
if I hand you this blank check right now, already signed, endorsed by the account holder.
I ain't working with no check.
No, you just gotta put a finger on the check. And a suitcase will be delivered to you within the hour.
No, oh no. I saw that movie.
Guess what you gonna do? You gonna sit at jury duty all day. I'm taking the check and I'm out. I'm out. I'm telling you. I'm going back in there. We're gonna deliberate. We go to the deliberating room. I'm saying y'all ready to go home because I'm hungry. Not guilty. But we didn't even look at the not guilty. We didn't even read the evidence. Not guilty.
That happens.
I don't know this. I ain't got time. I just want that check. That nigga probably need a check. And he was recording that shit too.
Well, look, his fans, R. Kelly's fans are gonna have to, you know, what's wrong with them?
Kelly's going to prison.
What's wrong with them?
That's it. That's
He's still gonna have his supporters.
all you crazy ass.
Y'all still gonna be
All
stepping
y'all
in the name
crazy
of God.
ass, retarded ass, lonely ass, 12 dildos in the drawer having ass women. That's supporting R. Kelly. Jump on the bridge. Cause y'all are stupid. Y'all, that's the women with 3 cats, a Shih Tzu, 12 dildos in the top drawer,
To the top drawer.
anal beads in the bottom.
Be quiet.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they do too much. But, we about to get out of here, y'all. We want to thank everybody that's watching on social media, YouTube, Instagram. Like, share this post. Thanks to our #1 fan, Tanika Shayla, for watching this game. As always. And we will see y'all. Listen, every Monday it's gonna be something, an adventure. Cause like the last 2 weeks, Jackie's been at the strip club. The week before that, September Harbor was, who knows? I don't even want to speculate what she was. I'm the only person who comes every week.
You a damn lie.
Every week. Like on time.
Yeah, you
You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate y'all. We want to thank y'all for checking us out. Peace, y'all. Be safe, like, and share.
Stay cool.
Hey, it's September Heather, one of your co-hosts of Between Friends. Listen to us live on WMSK Online Radio, Mondays 9 p.m. to 11 p.m.
Talking about your friends.